What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. And in back-to-back recaps, we have Ohtani and Elly De La Cruz going off. Ohtani, he's been MLB's best hitter in 2024, and Elly De La Cruz, he stole 3 more bases, so he's now on pace for over 100. Corbin Carroll, the 2023 NL Rookie of the Year, he's off to a brutal start this season, and Arizona fans, they're trying to figure out what the heck happened. We also have to show Aaron Judge's home run because it almost didn't happen. Stay tuned for that. All of that and more in today's MLB recap. We post these every single day, so if you want to stay up to date on the game of baseball, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're going to any baseball games, be sure to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off, and on Underdog Fantasy, if you use my code Fuzzy, you'll get a $100 deposit match. They got baseball, playoff basketball, any sport that you can think of, they got it. The first game of the day, and is that who I think it is? Sixto Sanchez. He is making his first MLB start in nearly 4 years, 1,294 days to be exact. He walked Ronald, and then obviously Ronald, he's going to be a menace. He steals his 11th bag, and Michael Harris, he lasered a single, and it was hit so hard that Ronald, he couldn't run on contact, but he scores anyway because Sixto, he balked. Then he hits Matt Olson, then Ozuna hit an RBI single. Sixto was looking rough, but his offense, they're going to get a run right back, and they got it back with a bang. Jesus Sanchez has hit some moonshots this week, 460 a few days ago, 430 on that swing. Ozuna, he's going to do it again. No home run here, but that's his second RBI of the game and his 29th in 23 games. It stayed 3-1. Ronaldo Lopez, he was great again. He has been a godsend for the Braves. He went 7 innings with 6 strikeouts. Mans has a 0.72 ERA in his first 25 innings. Miami, they were making some noise in the 9th. The bases are loaded versus Raisel Iglesias, and that's something you only ever see in MLB The Show. The ball hit Matt Olson and then trickled into the camera well, so 2 score. Arcia, he was able to nash Jazz at home, and Raisel, he bounced back with 96 upstairs to get out of that jam. Emmanuel Rivera, he turned an insane double play. That was sick. He picks it, steps on third, and Arise, he picked it at first base. A great play all the way around. Atlanta, they then said, we got to make some cool plays. Riley, he hit a 360 no-scope off of Rust to keep the score tied, and AJ Minter, he struck out Jazz to end the top of the 10th. Michael Harris, he's up. He sees the ball very well versus Tanner Scott, and that's the ball game. The Braves, they complete the sweep. They're 17-6. Atlanta is trying to beat Cleveland in the race to be MLB's first team to 20 wins. Cleveland is going for number 18 in this one, but Rafael Devers, he's back in there, so as a Guardians fan, I knew we were not going to win. You cannot have Devers and Connor Wong in the same lineup and expect to win. Devers, he turned on the Jets after Wilyer Abreu hit the left center gap. That's an RBI double. Rafael missed some games due to an injury to his knee, but his knee looks great, and so does Connor Wong's swing path. 2 of his 3 home runs this year have come against Cleveland, and I told you, if Devers and Wong are playing, Cleveland is not winning. They've destroyed Cleveland over the course of their careers. Wong went yard again. He's now hitting 470 with 5 home runs in 9 games in his career versus the Guardians. Devers now has 11 home runs in his career versus Cleveland. The rookie Rafaela, he made it 5-0. He had 2 base knocks in this one. Good for him. Cleveland decided to pitch to Devers. I have no idea why, but even if he gets jammed, he's playing the Guardians, so obviously it's going to land. Connor Wong, he makes it 8-0. He had 4 base hits in 1 game, and shout out to Cooper Criswell and the Boston Red Sox staff. They shut out the Guardians for the second time in the last week. They have a combined 2.49 team ERA. Andrew Bailey, the pitching coach, he might be the AL MVP. I'm not even joking. Cleveland stays at 17 wins. The Yankees, they're trying to tie both the Guardians and the Braves with their 17th win. Now, that was weird because the A's, they got hosed on a balk call. Joe Boyle dotted 99 on the paint. Judge was walking back to the dugout, but again, there was a balk. They said that he never came set, and that's about right. Aaron Judge, he wasn't going to get beat twice. He hit a home run on basically the same pitch. Joe Boyle, the pitcher, let out a quick little smile. It was subtle. You have to really look for it. Volpe, he ripped an RBI base hit to right. A's right fielder Lawrence Butler, he tried to one-hop it, but he missed it entirely. Then he slipped, so Austin Wells, he's going to score. Volpe is handed the RBI. Juan Soto, his sac fly makes it a 4 spot, but I guess Anthony Rizzo just hates the number 4. That is a real fact, by the way, and me not definitely making things up. He makes it 5-0 on his 3rd home run. The Yankees, they're having some fun. Soto, he's trolling other teammates by secretly stacking seeds onto them. Like, the Yankees they just look like a new team in 2024. They're having way more fun than usual. Clark Schmidt was cruising through 5 until Brent Rooker got his hands in on a sinker. He caught a barrel for a long 3-run home run. Soto, he found a barrel as well. JJ Bleday, he lost his glove in the process, but Soto now has 6 home runs and a .431 on base percentage. Verdugo, he had a sac fly that pushed it back to a 4-run lead. The Yankees, they win easy 7-3. They're now 17-8, so they're tied with the Braves and the Guardians for the most wins in baseball. So we saw the Braves win their 3rd straight game. The Dodgers, they're trying to do the same, and they're still taking on the Nationals. Ohtani, he split the gap for his first of 3 doubles in this one. Will Smith, he did not miss the fastball, so he drives in Ohtani on a single. Carroll, LA, they're going to get another rally going in the second, and I'm really happy to see that Gavin Lux, he started the rally. He singles, and Andy Pages, he did his thing. Remember, it is not Andy Pages, it is Andy Pages. He's going for 2. He's in there, so 2 ducks are on a pond for Mookie, and I mean, he brings them both in because he's Mookie Betts. He's hitting .365 with 21 home runs and a 2.1 F4, which leads all of baseball. Now, Washington did score a few, but to be honest, that only made LA angrier. Max Muncy, he laced an RBI single. Gavin Lux, he squeaked one through. He plated 2 on that swing. Super happy for the kid. Fans have been brutal to him, despite the fact that he's coming off of ACL surgery. Andy Pages, he's the real deal. That ball was hit so hard his helmet nearly fell off. His second career home run. Ohtani, there's his second double, this time an RBI double, and then in steps Ohtani again. His 3rd extra base hit of the night. He's 3rd in F4. Do you know how hard it is to be 3rd in F4 as a full-time hitter? He's hitting .370 with a 212 OPS plus. He has 99 extra base hits over his last 161 games. Freddie has finally broken out of that early season slump. I put that in air quotes because a slump for Freddie is like a average player just doing average things. He has 7 RBIs over his last 7 games. This Dodgers lineup is just not fair. So if Mookie is 1st in F4 and Ohtani is 3rd, who's in between at 2nd? Well, he's actually playing in this game, and he is right there. Gunnar Henderson, he went lefty-lefty again. Gunnar now has a 1.9 F4, so he's just ahead of Ohtani. He has 8 home runs, also 5 stolen bases. Dean Kremer, he was dealing. He struck out Ward and Sano back-to-back to end the 4th. He had 6 strikeouts through 4 shutout. Gunnar, he got on again in the 5th. He scores on an Adley Rutschman RBI single. Mateo, he was trying to rip the game fully open, and he pimped it, so it's got to leave, right? But that's a scary, scary situation. Taylor Ward, he had nearly caught it, then he careened into the wall. 2 were in scoring position for Gunnar, and he somehow got a 2-run single despite the fact that he was completely jammed. He's now hitting .310 after 3 base hits in this one. He has 20 RBIs, and now we get a Trout home run. That's his 10th. He is the first MLB hitter to double-digit home runs. Taylor Ward, he's not too far behind. He wants one as well. Mullins, just outside his reach. That would have been so sick. Taylor Ward now has 7 home runs. Zach Neto, he belted one. His first tater. It makes it a 6-4 game. Now it's a 1-run game after Logan O'Hoppe drove an Adrianza, whatever his last name is, on a ground out. Kimbrel then let the speedy Joe Adell get on. He's off for second base. That's a middle fastball, a perfect throw from Adley, and that's the wrong call. Obviously, it was super close. We're not going to blame the umpire on that one, but you have to blame the replay system who got it wrong. His foot hit second base before Gunnar tagged his nether regions, and that's just a terrible call, a terrible way to end the game. Baltimore improves to 8-2 over their last 10. The Phillies also can get to 8-2 with a W over Cincy. Trey, he started off with a stolen base, so he's now 41 for his last 41 over the last few seasons in terms of stolen base attempts. That activated Bohm's clutch gene. He drives an RBI number 20. He's hitting .460 with a 1427 OPS with runners in scoring position. There he is again. That wasn't with runners in scoring position, but Schwarber unhooked the trailer again this week. He scores from first base. Spencer Turnbull, he had a very easy first 2 innings when Will Benson cracked one out. Will now has 3 home runs and 5 stolen bases. Trey, he was trying to steal home. That was a delayed double steal. The fake throw got him. I guess this worked last week for the Phillies, but the 3rd longest stolen base streak since 1941 is officially over. Johan Rojas, he played a Phillies 3rd run, and that should be enough to win, right? It's not going to be, because as soon as Spencer Turnbull left the game, his bullpen ruined any chance of him getting a W. More on Turnbull in just a second. Espinal had a 2-run double. Will Benson, he blooped in the go-ahead, so now it's 4-3. Elly, he is seeing lefties so much better this year. That's an RBI ground rule double. He's now hitting .313 with 18 RBIs. With Merrifield, he got one to fall just in front of Benson, so it's back to a 1-run game, but Elly's speed, it's about to take over. That's his 3rd base hit. He then steals second. He steals 3rd. That's 15 stolen bases already. He's casually on pace for 47 home runs and 101 stolen bases. Alexis Diaz, he got Nick Castellanos to hit into a double play. Castellanos, he is hitting .174 with a -1 WAR. And just one more thing on the Phillies, they might be replacing Spencer Turnbull in the rotation with Taijuan Walker. I hate that decision. Taijuan Walker, to me, is not as good as Spencer Turnbull, and Turnbull's got like a sub-2 ERA this year. What is that decision? We just talked about Nick Castellanos, a disappointing player. Let's talk about another, Corbin Carroll. He's been dropped to like 7th in the order for the Diamondbacks, so even though the Snakes had the bases loaded in the 1st and no one out, it had nothing to do with Corbin. Seawalk, he had a long RBI sac fly, and I thought it was a grand slam off the bat. Jordan Montgomery, he was very impressive through his first 5 innings. He can't make it 6 shutout as Nolan Arenado played a Donovan. Goldie, he's going to get a chance now, and it got past Tucker Barnhart. Jordan, he spiked the changeup, so now it's 2-1. Monty, he finally escapes that inning with just the 2 runs allowed. He's back out for the 7th. Mason Wynn, he was put in motion at first, and Nolan Gorman, he sent it the other way. Wynn scores from first base. He went from first to home in like 8.5 seconds. That is one of the fast first to home times in baseball the last few years. Arizona, they loaded the bases in the first, and St. Louis, they're going to do the same in the 8th. Lars Nootbaar, he laced a rocket 2-run double. Him being back in that lineup really does lengthen the lineup. Victor Scott, I think he's going to be good, but he was a free out to start this year. St. Louis, they win the series, and a lot of Diamondbacks fans, they are worried right now about Corbin Carroll because he's hitting just 208, and he can't catch the fastball this year. MLB, they've adjusted. They've turned up the fastballs this year. It's now Corbin's turn to adjust back. Corbin is hitting 161 against the four seam and 143 on the cutter. Even his quality of contact has tanked as well. So do you think that Corbin Carroll is going to shake it off? To me, he's way too good not to. He's going to pop off soon, but he's got to make an adjustment to catch up to the fastball and the cutter. So we have back-to-back games with a 5-1 box score. Seattle, they're going to score early on a dribble at first base. Mitch, he gets the RBI. We skip to the 4th. Bryce Miller, he's throwing a beauty, and Adolis, he's trying to ruin it. J-Rod catches it. No, he didn't. He deked everyone. Adolis, he threw his hands up like, what are you doing? Stop playing around. He shakes his head as he's rounding third base. It did hit J-Rod's glove, so it was a pretty close play. Evan Carter, he made it back-to-back home runs with Adolis Garcia. John Gray, he struck out Mitch for his 7th strikeout. He was pretty good. You really thought I was going to say Gray was great? Be better than that. Come on. It's still 2-1 Texas in the bottom of the 6th. Jonah flooded Seattle. But yeah, Jonah, he gets 2 RBIs as Mitch dropped it. They still counted it as a second RBI. Evan Carter, he's up again. He wants another home run. That ball bounced off the wall. An RBI triple works. He's been the streakiest hitter in baseball to begin the year. He's gone 0 for 16 or 0 for 15 multiple times. Then he breaks out of it with a 2 or 3 game bender, and then he goes back to kind of stinking it up. But this time around, it might actually be sticking. Texas, they win 5-1. They're back in first place, but only by a half game. The AL West is going to be fun this year. Apparently, so is the NL Central because Chicago is a half game back of the Brewers, and the Red Hot Reds are back to 1.5 games back of first place. The Cubs, they started this game full feast or famine. They scored all 4 of their runs in the first 3 on one swing. Bush hit a sac fly, and then Dansby drilled a no-doubter to left field for his 3rd of the year. Again, 3 runs on one swing. But here comes the Astros. They're handed a run on a silver platter after Bush just dropped it at first base. Taillon, he bounced back. He got Altuve chasing. Bregman then hit one off of Taillon. He stays in the game. Nico Horner cannot make the barehanded play, so it's 4-2 Cubs. Taillon, he's still out there. He strikes out Singleton on a generous call, so he's out 1 away from 6 innings. The bullpen, they do get the final out to end the 6th. The Astros, they're threatening again in the 8th. Morel, he had his moon shoes on, you know, the shoes that defy gravity. If you understand that reference, we can be friends, but in the next recap, we might be making a Wheelies reference or a Zoo Pals. If you know what I'm talking about, good for you. Mark Leiter, he was hyped up. He was pumped after Morel made that grab, and he channeled the energy to strike out Jake Myers. Hector Neris, he's facing his old team. He's towing the rubber, and Altuve took him yard. So now it's a 1-run game. Nonetheless, Neris, he got Tucker to lazily fly out for a second save. The Cubs, they barely hold on. The Astros are now 6 games back of first place. They're 7-18. Meanwhile, the Brewers, they're showing that they don't need Corbin Burnes or Brandon Woodruff to be good. They jumped out to an early lead after their superstar catcher William Contreras brought home the speedy Bryce Terang. Hoskins, he was hit by a pitch. Blake Perkins, he worked a walk. Milwaukee scored 3 in the 3rd on 1 single base hit. Pittsburgh, they got back on 1 swing. Brian Reynolds, he cleared the deck. He's got 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. Jake Bauers, he wanted an extra base hit, but Jack Sawinski, he says no. I forgot that Jack, he's kind of sneaky fast. He can go get it sometimes. Keyword sometimes. And is it happening again? Another delayed double steal. Philly tried it earlier. Milwaukee failed it also in the 6th inning. Not a great idea. William, he was 3 for 3 at that point. He got out a few seconds later, so the rally was completely killed. Joey Ortiz, he got bailed out by the sure-handed Jake Bauers. That was a really nice 3rd to first play. Yoel Payamps, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. He bounces it as well, but Bauers, he can't stay on the bag for that pick. And what is going on? Adames and Weimer, they did not communicate, so Weimer took his eye off the ball to avoid the collision. The tying run is now 90 feet away. McCutcheon's at the dish. Payamps, he got him swinging. The Brewers barely win as well. From the Brewers and the Pirates to the Mets and the Giants, if you really think about it, sports teams' names, they're really funny because, like, the Mets, I'm pretty sure it's just short for Metropolitans. The Giants, they used to be known as the New York Gothams. Then they got changed to the Giants back in 1885. Anyway, Manaea looked great in the 1st inning, and then it completely flipped in the 2nd. The bases are loaded, but luckily for him, he got Nick Ahmed to fly out. Mr. Smile, he's been smiling a lot lately. Lindor drilled a 2-run home run off a righty, so he's finally fully locked in. He was raking against lefties. Now he's raking against righties. Tyrone Taylor, he launched one as well. Would you believe me if I said that Tyrone Taylor, the former Brewer, is hitting .320 with 11 RBIs after his 2nd home run? But wait, there's more. Taylor found triples alley. Now it didn't quite make it to the wall, but that's 2 more RBIs. He's now hitting like .330 with 13 RBIs. Taylor, he scores on a laser single off the bat of Jeff McNeil, and oh no, baseball should be afraid. Lindor is really feeling himself. His 2nd of the game. He had 4 hits in this one. He's now batting .360 with 5 extra base hits and 8 RBIs over his last 10. Diaz, he's out there just keeping the arm loose. It was not a save opportunity, but they get the W. The Mets are 9th in team ERA and 12th in team OPS. That's pretty dang good. The Tigers went up 1 after Torkelson grounded out for an RBI, but Randy immediately tied it. He's been bad this year, just like Corbin, Carroll, and a few other guys, but there's plenty of season left. His first home run in like 4 weeks. Rays catcher Ben Rortvedt, he's playing like prime Joe Mauer. He's hitting .330 or something like that. He doubles in Harold Ramirez. Jose Caballero, he singled in Ben, and then Yandy Diaz, he gets Jose home on a single to right field. And good thing he did that because the Tigers made a comeback. Mark Hanna, he ripped a huge 2-run base knock. It's now 4-3. When Buddy Kennedy, he delivers, he ties it. He then steals second base, which ended up not really mattering because Javi split the gap. I think that Buddy's fast enough. He scores regardless, but you never know. The Tigers, they're up 1. Ben Rortvedt, he clutched up again. He's now hitting .333 with a very good defense behind the dish. It's not going to last, but it's cool for the moment nonetheless. Curtis Mead, that is his biggest moment as a big leaguer. The rookie put his team up by 2. Garrett Clevenger, he's going to work an easy 9th. Well, it was easy. Then he walked Jake Rogers. In steps the dangerous Riley Green. That sweeper is just too nasty. Riley, he couldn't put any mustard on it. The Tigers, they're now 14-11. The AL Central is not really AL Centraling to begin 2024. Kansas City, they're looking for their 15th win. Salvi, he's been insane this year. Bobby, he scores easy. Salvi now has 23 RBIs. Addison Barger, he's making his MLB debut, and he's not really used to left field because he's never played it before. He obviously doesn't make the grab. Maikel Garcia, he singles, so it's 2-0 Kansas City. Vinny, he skywinds to deep left, back to Barger over there, and he's praying to God that he makes the grab. He makes it. Now, he kind of looked like that Dude Perfect meme, the dude who dives and jumps for everything, but I'm going to cut him some slack. Barger, he then knocked the Kansas City starter out the game, so he was all over the place. He had his fingerprints everywhere. Alec was really good through 4 shutout, but he has to come out. Springer, he's thankful for the pitching change. It's now a 2-1 game. It's back to a 2-run lead after Bobby knocked in his 11th RBI of the year. The Jays then got it back after Ernie Clement had an RBI ground out. Bobby, he then tested his luck. He went to Dalton Varsho in center, which you just can't do that. He has been the best defender in baseball this year. James MacArthur, he's out there again. Yesterday, like 24 hours ago, he got a 6-out, 2-inning save, and now he's going out there striking out Biggio to end it. Josh Hader's arm might have fallen off if he actually tried that. The Royals, they're 15-10. The Tigers are 14-11. Cleveland is 17-7. What about the Twins and the White Sox? The Twins are still fighting despite the fact that they've lost like 5 stars to free agency or injury. Carlos Santana got deked out by Gavin Sheets, so he had a late break to home because there was that little fake catch attempt by Sheets. Vasquez, he gets the RBI. Willie Castro, have yourself a day. He ripped a 3-run home run on his 27th birthday. Chicago, they wanted some of that as Kevin Pillar, he hit one. Catcher Corey Lee, he went to the second deck, and staying with Corey, he got on in the 5th. Is this another? It is another delayed steal. This time it works. Lee, he steals easily, and Brendan Shoemaker, he trots home on the bad throw. Again, a very bad throw if you ask me. The Sox, they're still within 1. Minnesota, they deployed pinch hitter Max Kepler, and that one drops in. Paul DeJong in the outfield cannot get there. Vasquez had 3 base hits in this one. Kepler, he gets the 3rd. He scores on a pass ball. I feel like Griffin Jacks felt a little bit more comfortable and confident now that he had that 3-run lead. Maybe the insurance run allowed him to air it out just a little bit extra. A 97 fastball to end it. The Sox, they're 3-21. Oh, wow. Okay, we are starting this game off hot. The bases are loaded for the Padres, and Ha-Seong Kim, he used the circle button, which means the contact swing in MLB The Show, to score, and then another score is after a Jackson Merrill sac fly. 25 consecutive games now. The Rockies have started a game losing. So if they have won this year, it was in comeback fashion. Eggy Rosario, he sent one back up the middle. Kim is moving. That throw is late. The Padres, they're up 4-zip. Now we get to see a knuckleballer in action. Matt Waldron's knuckle was so nasty, the catcher missed it and then hit the umpire. The umpire still got the strike call in there. And then later on, a fan made a sick barehanded catch, and bro was in his bag. And hopefully, I'm praying that was a first date, because yeah. Jackson Merrill, he grabbed another RBI on a ground out. The call was overturned moments later, so it's still an RBI. That's an RBI as well. Ryan McMahon, he turned and burned on a curveball. That was off Waldron, but Matt was really, really good. He used the knuckleball and fastball really effectively. He struck out 5 over 6 solid frames. We're going to fast forward to the 8th, where Jackson Merrill just missed robbing a home run. And to be honest with you, I feel like I don't even know if that leaves if Jackson doesn't deflect it over the wall. Robert Suarez, he's in there now in a save opportunity. He strikes out Hunter Goodman for his 9th save. The Padres, they're back over 500. That's going to do it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. We are closing in on 500,000 subscribers, so do me a favor, send this video to a friend. See if they want to subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and enjoy the web gems.
Ground ball down the line. Sano with a snag. Long throw across. In time.
Matt Olson into center. Jazz diving.
From Muller, that's sent out towards right field. Butler will have to play it on a hop. The throw coming home, the runner coming home, and Langolier.
Order in the 6th. Mookie Betts didn't get all of that one. Out to shallow right center, and Joey Gallo.
Line drive is snared by Volpe. Volpe is outstanding catch. Ground ball up the middle. Guillorme, nice diving stop. And he makes the throw.